Hey everyone, Final here. Today, I'll finally be reviewing the Dawn of War Onslaught board game. So this won't be a playthrough video, but I'll still touch on the different steps of playing the game. Here were the recommended characters to play with for your first game. I haven't had a chance to paint up my Blood Ravens yet, so I'll be proxying in some Ultramarines to cover the characters that I don't have. Now I have the Blade Guard Ancient and a Blade Guard Veteran ready to go, but please excuse the paint jobs, these were some of my first painted minis. For the Eradicator, I had to proxy in a Heavy Intercessor. I don't actually know what I did with my Eradicators, they've gone missing somewhere. Meanwhile, I've never actually had a Justicar, so I'll be proxying in the Primaris Chaplain. Setting up wasn't too bad. At first, I thought there were a lot of cards, but it's actually split up into the Alpha, Beta, and Gamma game types. The major and minor threat cards were actually broken up into the Alpha, Beta, and Gamma as well. I didn't realize that while filming this setup, so I corrected it later. And these are the character actions. Normally they're spread out between the players, but I'm playing by myself, so I'll leave them here for now. That's really it for the pre-game setup. Like I said, super simple and straightforward. The game is broken up into two phases, the assault and defense phases. You start with the assault phase, and there's a little bit of setup to do. You go one by one through the objectives and spawn enemies in. The first two get major threat cards, while the last two get minor threat cards. It's really as simple as drawing a threat card and spawning in enemies adjacent to the objective. After you spawn in the enemies, you pair up the character models and spawn them in. And once again, that's it. Now we're ready to play. The characters move in order by initiative, the lowest going first. During the first turn, only the characters get activated, but starting on the second one, the enemies will start moving around and attacking. The goal in the assault phase is to destroy all of the enemies. Meanwhile, we'll lose if all of our characters get killed, or injured as the game calls it. Each unit has a ranged and melee attack, and attacking will be somewhat familiar to Warhammer players, except you only roll to hit. All of the small orcs only have one hit point and will die if you hit them once. There are different things to make it more challenging, like they have defense modifiers or counterattack abilities. After all of the heroes have made their attacks, they can roll to activate the objectives if they're nearby. And that's it for a turn in the assault phase. It goes back and forth like that until the orcs have all been killed. Once that happens, you enter the defense phase, which I think is more iconic Space Marines. Everyone gets healed, your action cards and the threat decks get refreshed, and a couple of modifier cards get added to the major threat deck. Meanwhile, the players get a relic they can choose from to use. Honestly, at this point it feels like a brand new game. All of the objectives are activated at this point, and the character models can redeploy to anywhere that they want on the map. The only thing that really carries over is if you're not playing easy mode. In the other difficulties, the characters only heal a certain number of wounds instead of fully. In the defense phase, you don't start with any enemies on the board. Every turn, you draw a major threat card and a sector card to determine who and where they spawn. Besides that, you still fight the orcs like normal, except this time they will also aim for the reactors. You also don't win if you kill all the orcs on the board. You have to fully exhaust the major threat deck, and then spawn in the boss. For this game, I had the war boss spawn, but normally it's random, depending on whether you're playing Alpha, Beta, or Gamma. The boss is quite a bit stronger, and can hit the heroes easier. It also has wounds, so it won't go down in one shot. At this point, no more orcs will spawn, but the remaining ones still act like normal. Eventually, if you beat the boss, you win the game. After you win, there's a scoring system for the whole team. I happen to score a crushing victory. I like that it gives you a relic to carry over to the next game. Like I mentioned before, there's also some difficulty levels, but they're not too complicated. They just determine how much you heal moving between phases and how many cards get shuffled into the major threat deck. In my opinion, the defense phase is the real part of the game, while the assault phase was more of a loading screen that you can interact with. I didn't try it out, but there's rules for a horde mode that you can play. It looks like more of a see how long you can survive kind of game. So overall, what do I think? It wasn't a very complicated game, and the barrier to entry is a lot lower than 40k. I'm thinking of it as more of a simple board game than a miniature war game. In my mind, it's almost like a simplified early game Pandemic, where you're moving around trying to stem the orcs before they get out of hand. If you're looking for an all-day strategy game to play with your friends, where you can think deep and make huge plans, this isn't it. However, if you're trying to convince someone to get into Warhammer, or you need a simple game with some replayability, this could fill that role. For me, I don't regret buying the box because the models are really great. but replaying the game is probably a little lower on my list. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed playing the game yourself, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.